And now queen e7, a big mistake. If bishop c7 was played here, black is better, but queen e7, why is this a mistake? Let's try to think. Has Nijat found something? Will Hikaru find with just 7 minutes left? I think he's rightly investing his time here. He has to make 4 more moves. Bishop e5, what a beautiful move. And the point is very simple. You go knight e3 next, knight g3 and trap this rook and win it. That's the entire point of it. And this bishop cannot be taken because the knight is pinned. Unbelievable turnaround here for Hikaru. You can see him very confidently sitting there, queen e6. But now just knight, there's also knight g3, knight e3 by the way, to block this completely. Instead he goes knight g3, which is also a fine move. Nijat Abasov with one careless move, just allowing the bishop to settle down here and trap the rook there, has lost material. And Hikaru was so sharp and quick to find it. It didn't take him even more than a few seconds to play it. But still the game goes on. He got a bishop and pawn for the rook. Abasov, c3 pawn is weak. Let's see how Hikaru converts this. He's on move 39. Final move before time control is played rook b5. And now with 30 minutes added on the clock, it is very clear that Hikaru has everything under control. I mean, the game is still not completely winning, but it is in Hikaru's favor. Bishop takes c3, pawn is taken. And now he's taking his time, which is such a good feeling that you have 30 more minutes now. But also many times mistakes do occur on move 41 because you tend to relax a bit during this period. So queen e3 is played to trade the queens. Now Hikaru gets up from the chair. Queen takes e3 played. And now f takes e3. It's actually useful to sort of break this structure up, because now this pawn is no longer like a two passers, it's only one. Pawn tries to stop it a bit. So d4 played here. And now the big issue that black will face, which has to be addressed here, because materially black is doing fine. You know, it's not such a big problem. And also with these trades, black's position keeps looking that it's getting better. The big issue is that this a3 pawn will fall and this a pawn will be a passer. So for Nijat to put the bishop here on b2 defending this might be a very good idea. Like, put the bishop here, put the pawn maybe there and keep playing. But he goes h4. And this aggressive approach may not really help him. The reason for that is that, let's say now Hikaru goes knight f5, which he will play. Oh, he goes knight e2 back. He doesn't move forward here. He goes knight e2. The bishop is attacked by the knight, and it goes to e3, attacking g5 pawn, perhaps rook a5 played. And this is where Nijat has to remain careful, because he's losing the most important pawn in the position. The reason why that pawn is so important is because once it's taken, the a pawn will just be a passer and Hikaru just snatches it. And I think this is where Nijat is lost now. He's going to be in big trouble. Rook takes a3. Yes, he gets this pawn, but when you are playing exchange down position, like if you are the side with the rook, your only thing that you are trying for is to create passers. That is exactly what you want. Hikaru, by the way, looking at the ceiling, calculating. Rook check comes in, and now it's pretty straightforward here after the king moves. the a pawn just rolls down the board. There's not even anything that black can do. It's like such a one-sided position. He plays knight f8 to block, and Hikaru pushes the pawn to a4. So after a very staunch defense throughout the game, and in fact some great play even to rest over the initiative, Nijat Abasov has finally collapsed here, and you can see him making his move with his left hand. That's also some kind of a sign that, you know, I no longer believe in my position. And now I think just push the pawn even further. But Hikaru goes knight d4. I think Hikaru is doing it even in bigger style. He maybe wants to take this, check, and then pick up this bishop. Nijat pushes h3. You take it because you don't want this h2 business for the pawn to become a queen. King takes. Sorry, bishop takes. King f2. Another check. And the king continues to move up. Yes, king f3. And now if there's another check, then king f4. King can go up. Like, two bishops cannot checkmate this king, and if the knight was playing, it would have been nice, but it's pinned here. That's the problem. So king, oh, he goes king g2. I guess king f4 was not a bad idea, just to move forward. But king g2 is safe. There are no more checks. f4 check, f4 pushed forward, and it's a nice move because it stops knight e6. The bishop controls it. Also, you might have ideas of f3, but bishop f5 played. f3 check. Well, actually taking this is not so silly, right? Because after take here, take, but then the problem is check and you lose the rook. Ooh, that's really bad. So have to be careful. He goes king f1, bishop takes bishop, knight takes, and after bishop g5, well, yes, this pawn can move forward, but my knight can come and stop it instantly. And after a5 played, so the king stops f pawn, knight will stop c pawn, the a pawn is going down the board. Nijat Abasov extends his hand in resignation. Hikaru Nakamura gets the job done, and you can see he is quite exhausted there. He knows this game will prove to be a critical one in his journey to winning the candidates, and that is actually a big thing. Look at Nijat Abasov. He's so upset there. He actually fought so hard, and that's why chess is so brutal, because you know you can play like majority of the game well, but then one mistake and you lose. And this is actually soul crushing for Nijat, as he has not won a single game and he has had a series of draws. But a fighter that he is, and also Hikaru is now at 5.5, just half a point behind Gukesh and Nepo, who are the leaders. The Candidates 2024 continues to get more and more exciting.